I'm just adding this here as I gather my thoughts out loud. I'm going to put it out, my thoughts out loud, as far as radical acceptance. So we learn to accept the things we cannot change, right? Radically accept that we don't look alike, walk alike, talk alike, act alike, think alike, believe alike. Radically accept that our behaviors, whether they're good, they're bad, they're ugly, they're murderous mindsets, we accept that, right? So, let me think. So the videos that I do, number one, not for getting upset, or not for taking things in as it's me or it's them or stuff like that. It's more, my purpose is doing my message is that everyone has a voice. And even though you work in a large organization, you too have a voice. How to have that voice, when to have that voice, who, what, when, why, how, where. It all depends. And so okay. So the way the world is going now, healing, exposure, it's not for pointing fingers, it's for what I do, solutions or possible solutions, or there are so many different, and one thing I want to talk about in a minute is perspectives without delusion, I think. So it's not to get offended, it's not to feel nasty and not give yourself grace, or you feel in a certain way. Always be kind to yourself. Healing is not overnight. Solving problems is not overnight. Being creative and thinking of ways to get around things or make things feel better does not happen overnight. So to talk about perspective without being delusional, not to go deep on that today, but I think in the work environment, especially healthcare or being around healthcare, or it can go deep. The part I want to talk about today is, say for example, something happens and it make you want to cry, regardless of what title you hold, what position you hold. It makes you feel uneasy inside. It makes you feel sad inside. It just makes you want to go to the bathroom and cry. Just make you want to hurt somebody who's doing something wrong to somebody else. So I can't talk about anything without talking about myself first. Because it comes off as judgment. It's just not right. I was working in Baltimore years ago, and I said, besides my regular job, because of the people I worked with, I was like, I don't want to be like these. I don't want to adapt the personalities and the behaviors of the people that I work with. So I went and took a EMT class on the side to make myself, even more busier and involved in something else. And I needed to be around different people. So I took the EMT class while I was still working a full-time job. And they let me go on the ride-alongs with the paramedics. They knew a little bit about me, about my background, and one of the paramedics said, "So you're a hospital whore," because whatever, talking about all the different departments I had worked in. Sometimes to me it gets embarrassing being around the world in different positions, because even though for some it's like, oh, that's a lot of experience, but for me it's like it can be embarrassing. I don't know. So anyway, the thing I did not like, which did not make me comfortable, is responding to anything that deal with children. And me, I be ready to whip somebody's ass, right? So that one was very, very hard for me, and I knew, because I always wanted to be a paramedic, but it never happened. I never finished the classes, lived the life, traveled the military with my husband and 3 kids or whatever. So, but responding to when people did children wrong, my first reaction is, you have to report, blah, blah, blah. And just to respond to that, it don't feel good. And the first thought I have, because of my background, because of where I come from, and because of my feelings, I think it is, or what type of person I am, I'll be ready to hurt the person that does the child wrong. And so I wanted to say that today, to where I was talking, to somebody last night, and I was like, is that radical acceptance, to accept when the family members do the individual wrong, like really wrong, like whatever. So staff person helped me realize, and I said, that sounds like radical acceptance, the way you explain that. When the person comes to you, you hold a title, a nurse was explaining to me, they look at it in a beautiful way. Like, I'm grateful, I thank God, or whatever you believe in, that they got this person somehow, the injured person. They can clean that person up. Doctors can feel good about doing the medication, writing the medication to make the person feel better. And that is their joy that they get from the horrible situation when someone mistreats someone. You have to radically accept the people that treated them wrong, whether it was rape, whether it was a beat up abuse, whether it was, I'm not gonna let you eat. And it hurts so bad to watch this stuff, right? But when you get that person, now you step in with your title and what you went to school for and what you do, right? And you take care of that person, whether you bring them back to life, whether you are the last people that have stood on their bedside before they, maybe they do go in to their last breath, but you did something good.